Ladies and gentlemen, seekers of truth and knowledge, welcome to a one-of-a-kind experience that will take you on a captivating journey beyond our world. Today, we have a special treat for you as we sit down with the renowned Andromedan Contactee Alex Collier. Prepare yourself for a rapid-fire question and answer session that delves into the depths of cosmic wisdom and unveils the mysteries of the universe. As always, please remember to like this video and share it with your friends and family. That way, it gets seen by more truth seekers. So, without further ado, here are today's rapid-fire questions and answers.
Hi Alex, thank you for your service to humanity. It's very obvious that there are a multitude of non-physical entities trying to influence energetic fields. The Native Americans use white sage and sweetgrass for purification. Have the Andromedans given you any instruction to help keep energy fields clean and clear of these invaders who are always looking around for a new host?
You know, that's a very good question, and thank you for asking it. They don't have that issue in their realm in 5D. So they don't have any experience with that. So they may know about, but they don't actually know that type of thing. They are aware of attachments in lower dimensions because they can see those things. But no, I'm aware of that, of disembodied spirits, very aware of that. And I sage my home once a week, every 6-7 days, just to keep it clean. And I do some other things around the house, by the doors, to make sure that no one carries anything into the house or brings anything into the house. Psychology will one day fully understand that those with multiple personality disorder, they literally have multiple physical disembodied spirits attached to that person's body. They're literally feeding off of them like a vampire. They will one day come to realize that's what it is. It's not necessarily a mental illness as it is a spiritual illness or spiritual affliction. But you know, psychology has always tried to take God out of everything and the soul out of everything anyway, for the most part. And that is, of course, coming back to bite them. And it will, as well, in the end, do the same thing.
Hello Alex, you are the person who changed my life and I am beyond grateful and thank you dearly. I have 2 questions. Are there ways to unlock our DNA to have more access to our spirituality? 2, do our loved ones help us when we reach out to them with questions and guidance? Be well, be blessed, be amazing.
Do our loved ones help? I'm assuming that question means those who have crossed over.
I assume so.
Okay, I'll assume that then. Yes, I think so. But you know, and I've shared the story about my mom, my Uncle Dick, who was dying of tuberculosis up in Alaska. And my mom, he was blacking out just weeks before he crossed over. And he had a trip where he went into the tunnel and he found himself in this huge park. And my Aunt Connie and my mother were there, who had already crossed over. And my mother told him to tell us that she hears us when we talk about her or pray to her, but it's too hard for her to come back and visit us because of the energy. So I think I think if they can, they will. But, also understand everyone has guardian angels. At least that's what we call them. Some call them guides. Now, if you haven't pissed off your guardian angels, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help you. Or your guides. They're not mad at you. I'm sure they're willing to help you. Just ask for their assistance. Acknowledge the fact that they are there and they exist. And I think you'll see some things miraculously start to turn around, and you'll be given more and more information about yourself, or they will lead you to specific instances where that information becomes available to you, because that's what they're here to do. They're looking to earn their wings as well. So, and the more they help you and get you to graduate, then they get their wings and you get your wings back. Okay. And I don't remember what the first question was. Is there a way to unlock more information on your DNA? The more quiet time you can spend with just yourself, the more you can hear your own frequency. And that means leaving the phone in the car or at home and spending some genuine quiet time. Just you and God, the source. And learn to hear your own frequency. Those doors will open for you almost automatically. But what is it that you want? It's not outside of you. It's inside of you. It's where you have to look. It's where we all have to go, is inside.
A few weeks back, you told a story where you had a contact and you saw a guy with an attachment. You looked at it and it hissed at you.
Yes.
Can you describe this being? In my head, I'm picturing a gargoyle. Also, what attracts these type of creatures? I heard they like to find their victims in bars and strip clubs, etc. What were you doing in bars and strip?
Okay, well, I told you I saw this person on the street, and this individual walked by me, and this attachment was on him. I wasn't in a bar. I don't drink, so I'd have no reason to be in a bar. What did it look like? It was so deformed, other than what I would call was a mouth with teeth and eyes. I'm not sure what it was. It wasn't something that I would recognize as being anything on this planet. Now, it might have been. I simply don't know. I don't know if it was brought in through a portal and it attached to this person. The more I learn about all of this, and a great resource for this type of information, if you're interested, is Marianne Wiskowski. She was the original ghost whisperer. She wrote a book, When Ghosts Speak. She's the expert on all of this. And she holds a telephone, I guess, webinar once a month. She knows her shit. She just deals with disincarnate spirits, ghosts. And there are other people that deal with demonics. And that's the next level. There's a lot going on Earth. There really is. And this type of thing goes on, or has been going on, in other third dimensional worlds as well. So, but we're here, and this is where we're learning about it. but I cannot remember the young man's name who does the demonic stuff. I mentioned it several webinars back, but off the top of my head, I cannot remember. But Marianne Wiskowski, she has a lot of information. She has some videos on YouTube, and I think on her site where she talks about very specific things. I saw this years and years ago before I knew anything about Marianne. But I had just come back from a visitation, and my field was very strong. It was very expanded. And I went out into the public, which I don't do anymore after a physical contact, for at least 36 hours, maybe sometimes 48 hours. But I did, and that's how I saw this thing, because my field was so high, my frequency, my auric field was so high that I could see this thing. And it saw me see him, and then he hissed at me as we walked by. Scared the shit out of me. It really did. But I don't know what it was. I honestly can't tell you what it was, because it was so broken. It was impossible to know if it was actually something from this world prior to.
There have been recent reports from seemingly reliable sources that many thousands of tons of gold had been liberated from the dark forces, cabal, etc., from tunnels under the Vatican, London, and elsewhere. Can you confirm that this gold will be likely to use to back any non-fiat currencies around the world? Any idea what that would do to the value of gold coins currently held by investors?
It should drive the value through the roof. It'll probably pass the moon and get halfway to Mars. The value. I've heard, and the only thing that I feel very comfortable with in saying is that it's my understanding that the Trump administration took over 200,000 tons of gold out of the Vatican and brought it to the United States, along with religious artifacts and art and other things that had been stolen from the United States. That I'm comfortable saying. I cannot say about what other countries have done or what they didn't do, because that's not information I have. And let's not also forget that in the Grand Canyon, in the areas we're not allowed to go, that is off limits, there are fissures that have gold in them. I've heard I've heard a number as much as 3 million tons of gold that's still in the ground in the Grand Canyon. And I've heard that for years and years and years and years, that they knew it was there. So that would be also something that would be put on the books. So, at some point it's going to happen, and it's probably going to be sooner than later, that they're going to flip the currency and go back to a real genuine currency system, a gold-backed, silver-backed, metal-backed system. There are laws that have been passed, and many countries are in the process of trying to do this. The fiat system is not only corrupt, but it's been dark. It's been dark. It has gone so black, and it has corrupted so much of the world that in order to fix these problems, the first thing they have to do is take the money out of it, out of these crime systems. is take the money out. And the best way to do that is to say, okay, your fiat money's no good. It's paper. That's all it is. You can't buy anything. It's no longer going to be honored anywhere. And you will have to exchange it. And in the exchange, they will know, and that's how they will catch the culprits, the bad guys. At least most of the bad ones. So.
Hi, Alex. It has come to my attention that the group or collective known as Ashtar Command has flipped on the white hats and started trafficking humans off planet. I heard that, now I don't know how, I've never been able to properly pronounce it, but I think it's Tuatha. All those other letters don't the THA isn't pronounced. Tuatha were now at war with Ashtar. I've always felt the Ashtar group was negative, using my intuitive higher self. Are you aware of these changes?
Yes. Yes. I have not. I have never spoken highly of the Ashtar Command. They were involved in the Pyramid Wars, and they were flipping sides way back when the Anunnaki were here. They hail from Aldebaran. Aldebaran has been a very political system. They basically go where the wind blows. I cannot say I'm surprised that that's occurred, if that's exactly what's occurred. It doesn't surprise me at all. And as far as the human trafficking, that wouldn't surprise me either. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, mistakes are going to be made. It's all part of the process. Unfortunately, at this level of the game, humanity gets hurt. There are casualties. But we're doing the best we can. Hopefully, the White Alliance is now listening to those who actually know what they're talking about and who have dealt with these beings out there in other star systems, so that we can minimize the mistakes, and the casualties that are going to occur. But this is a war. This is definitely a war. It's a spiritual war. And we're the prize. We're the prize. And this is why it's so imperative that we learn who we are, that we understand what we're about, and we reclaim our individual power, our individual sovereignty.
I have a question about the quantum financial system. On the one hand, we're told by ordinary folks will not lose their savings. So why is everyone telling us to buy gold and silver to protect those savings? Though money is far down on my priority list, such mixed messages make me wonder about the reliability of all the information we're getting on the subject. Yeah, there's a lot of misinfo, disinfo, and otherwise not very useful information.
There is. And the reality is that what's about to happen, the switching from a fiat currency system globally to a asset-backed system, which is what we've always had before 1900. This particular banking system or financial system that's coming into play is something completely new and different. I will tell you that I don't have all the answers about it. I don't understand every aspect, nor have we been told every aspect about the new system. But I do understand what happens when money loses value. All you have to do is look at what happened to Germany after World War I and World War II. The idea of precious metals, whether it's platinum, palladium, iridium, copper. I mean, copper's $10,000 a ton now. Are you aware of that? Silver, nickel, gold. Those never go to zero. They never go to zero. Where cash will, because it's paper and ink. Or as Visaya said it, it's paper with pictures on it. That's all it is. Is it what you have in your bank account going to go one-to-one? We won't know until after it's done, will we? But if you have the ability to protect yourself, to have something during that transition period of the collapse of the one system and the introduction and the going online of the new system, there's probably going to be a period of time. It could be days, it could be weeks, where things appear very chaotic. Because you're talking about a complete change of a monetary system that has enslaved humanity for hundreds of years. And now suddenly it's gone. And there's going to be a period of the new system coming online, and we're all going to have to learn what that is and how it works. So there's going to be a lot of fear, there's going to be a lot of apprehension, there's going to be a lot of panic. It makes sense to have something that is real, that you know for a fact is not going to go to zero. It's entirely up to you to figure that out. I've shared my opinion with you on this for 100 webinars. This is your call, okay? It's an individual call. So whatever you decide to do, you'll have to live with.
Dear Alex, are the A's in contact with the white hats on Earth? Are they helping on a physical level or helping with their tech perhaps? If so, in what capacity?
There are many groups assisting, so yes, the answer is yes. I'm not going to give specific areas, but just the answer is yes. There are at least 18 actively involved in all areas that are sharing information and insight and knowledge. The knowledge covers all of the things that you mentioned and even things you didn't mention. Primarily behavior of the Dark Alliance, the past, the present, and the future. Because you remember, many of these groups have come from the future. So they already know how this plays out. And they're here specifically to make sure that humanity is free. And they have experience with this group and others in the past on assisting in this way, liberating, and at the same time doing it in such a way and instituting structure that the civilizations on these planets that are being free step not only into their power, but remain in their power after the process and the freedom liberation has been done. So it's about building a structure underneath these civilizations so that when this old stuff falls away and the liberation is complete, they are already on their feet. the civilization doesn't collapse because it has no structure. That's sort of why it's taking so long, because structure has to be built underneath these new these freed civilizations, so that they can stand on their feet and basically hit the road running. And it's complicated because each race is different. Each race has been tweaked in very different ways based on their belief systems. So, there is no one size fits all. Each civilization that's been freed is a one-off, you see. It's a one-off. So the plans have to be customized for each individual liberation. And that's probably why it's taken a little bit longer. So to answer your question, yes, but there's a lot of different races here. We're going to be okay. We are going to make this. We're going to get there. It's just going to be really bumpy, and it's going to be really ugly at moments. And there's no way to stop that. There's no way to sugarcoat any of this stuff that we have to face and we have to let go of. And in order to grow and to make sure that we make different decisions and that we educate future generations and that we stay in the flow and we stay real with what our objectives are as a civilization, we have to know all this stuff that we're not going to want to look at because it's dark. We have to know what it is and where it came from and what it represented and how it affected and influenced humanity. We're going to have to look at it. And that's the bitter pill. That's the bitter pill, and it is. It's going to be very bitter. And we're all going to shake our heads saying, how could we be so stupid? Well, we had a lot of systems put in place to work against us. Systems that we ultimately came to trust for a while, that we are now backing away from, which is a very positive sign. But nonetheless, we put a great deal of faith in to do the right thing. And in fact, they didn't, and they never had any intention of doing the right thing. It was all a trap. And they did it for wealth, for power, for longevity, and for favors.
There you have it, fellow truth seekers. An enlightening and exhilarating rapid-fire question and answer session with the remarkable Alex Collier, sharing his profound encounters with the benevolent Andromedan extraterrestrial beings. As we continue on our cosmic journey, let us embrace the wisdom of the Andromedans and carry their message of love, unity, and compassion with us. Together, we can create a world where humanity stands united, ready to embrace the wonders that await us in the vast expanse of the universe. If you found this rapid-fire question and answer session fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button and share this video with your friends and family. Subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on more captivating content like this. Thank you for joining us on this incredible adventure. Until next time, may the stars guide you on your path of enlightenment and exploration, and remember to always seek knowledge and stay curious. If you would like to see Andromedan Contactee Alex Collier live via video stream, we host an online seminar 3 times a month on a Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information and dates of upcoming online seminars, please visit alexcollier.org. Please click on one of the above videos to seek more of Alex Collier's knowledge.